Hi, this is Brad Rosley. Welcome to this week's version of Smart Money. Today we're going to talk about self-employed, also known as solo 401ks. As the name implies, these are good for people that are self-employed, with the exception of being able to include your spouse if he or she works in the same business. So these are not for people that have W-2 full-time employees. Years ago, I started my own business. I started off with what's called a CFP IRA, SEP IRA, as many self-employed people are familiar with. In the CFP IRA, you're allowed to save a percentage of your income from the employer standpoint into a retirement plan. And these are nice plans. Several years back, a new option came across my desk that I jumped on, and it's called this solo or individual 401k. First thing I liked about it, as most people will, is that there's no cost to set it up, or at least very little cost, if any. So you can set up this program unlike a traditional 401k that many people are familiar with at larger companies. Those plans have a lot of expenses that are charged back to the employer kind of behind the scenes. Those expenses make it unattractive for a smaller employer to set up a 401k. But with the solo 401k, there's virtually no expenses at all. They're also set up through brokerage companies. You can invest your solo 401k money in stocks, bonds, mutual funds, exchange traded funds, CDs, money markets, you name it. So they're very flexible in allowing you to create your investment portfolio that suits your needs. The real exciting part, though, is the amount of money you can invest in these programs. The amount as a percentage of what you make is really extraordinary. Unlike a SEP, which is 20 or 25% of your income, the solo 401k, as the name implies, allows you to put away on a salary deferral a 401k contribution, dollar for dollar, up to the first $18,000 of your income. For example, with a SEP IRA, if you could put away 25% of your income times, and let's just say you had a side job and made 10 grand, 25% of that is obviously $2,500. However, if you had a solo 401k, you could put away all $10,000 of that income, all tax deductible. The 401k contribution limit for 2017 is $18,000. So you could put away your first 18 grand tax deductible in your salary deferral. If you happen to be over 50, you get the opportunity to put away another 5 grand. They call it a catch-up contribution. That brings your 401k contribution up to $24,000 a year, and it's only going to go up. In addition to that, you still get to make that SEP IRA contribution, or the 20 or 25%, depending on whether or not you're an S corporation or a sole proprietorship. So let's take a couple examples. I'll put them on the screen here next to me. Let's say you made $50,000 this year as your net income. Well, if you're under 50, you get the opportunity to put away 18 grand in the 401k, plus another 25%. 25% of 50,000 is 12,500. So you get to put away 18,000 plus 12,500, which is $30,500 tax deductible of your $50,000 income. That's 60% of your income. If you happen to be over age 50, add another 6 grand on that as a catch-up contribution, which is 24,000 now for the 401k plus the 12,500, or a total of 36,500. That's a lot of money. 36,500 out of your 50 grand you're not paying income tax on. I'll do one more example. Let's say you made $150,000 this year. The same 401k contribution, 18,000 if you're under age 50, you're up to $24,000 if you're 50 or older, plus the 25% if you have an S corp that you can put away into the SEP. 25% times 150,000, along with the cap on this plan, is $60,000 total. You're allowed to put in $60,000 in if you have an income of $150,000 or more into your solo 401k. If you're under age 50, your cap is at $54,000. So that's where you'd be. Either case, it's a lot of money as a percentage of your income. What happens if you don't have that kind of money? You don't have to make any contribution. You have a slow year or you don't have the funds available, don't make a contribution at all. The following year is a good year, go ahead and make a contribution. It's very flexible that way, and that's a very nice thing as a small business owner. A lot of times your cash flow might jump up and down year to year. 3 other things to factor. One is you can make a Roth 401k contribution, meaning you're using after-tax money and the money comes out tax-free. That's an option you can choose to do with or without, or for some of your contribution, but not all on the employee side. The employer contribution is always tax deductible only. Second thing you want to consider, there's a 12/31 deadline to set the plan up. You have to have all the documents in before the end of the calendar year. The good news is the deadline to make a contribution is not till April 15th of that year. I should say of the following year, your tax year. So have the plan set up by 12/31, and then you have till April 15th of the following year to make your contribution. In any case, always check with your tax preparer to make sure you're following the rules and guidelines. I've written about this in a blog post. I have this and other videos available on our YouTube channel, so please check them out and subscribe to both of them so you'll stay in the loop and get future posts when they come out. Thanks for listening. Have a great day.